So we're out for a family wander. We've parked at Irongate Car Park, or what I know as Irongate Car Park on the A616. It's sometimes called the Flouch Car Park. We parked there because it tends to be quieter. And we're heading down the track and we're going to go for a wander and explore around Langset. And what we'll probably do is have a look at some of the history while we're here. That's cool. We're literally no more than 100 metres off the 616. All you can hear is road noise, but bird life are desperately competing, or successfully competing, and I know which I prefer. So, the woods around Langset. If my history serves me right, and I might be wrong, the woods were actually planted in the 20s. Not long after the reservoir was constructed, and it's mainly coniferous, and the outlying patches of deciduous. And over the last 8 years or so, it's some of the timber's been harvested. Right up there, that moves out into open access land, and we'll be going up there shortly. It's currently 5 to 10 in the morning, and the colours are absolutely stunning. Every branch seems to be alive with birds singing their hearts out. Chaffinches, woodpeckers, thrushes, robins, wrens, a couple of tree creepers I've seen already. Yeah, it's just absolutely alive and glorious. Have you ever had the feeling you're being watched? This sheep's been stalking us for the last 20 minutes or so. It probably knows I've got a healthy snack in my rucksack. So we're following the Etherow down past what they call Swindon Plantation, and I've got two choices from here. I can either nip up through the forest, or I can follow the River Etherow back down. To be honest, I think I'm going to follow the river. Just over there though is a place where I've camped before, although realistically you shouldn't do. Oh, what's that? So we've been following the Porter, or the Little Don River, if you like. We've got up as far as we want to go, and what we're going to do is just head back. I've had a look at a couple of campsites around here, or potential campsites, and found one that I quite like. So what we're going to do is head back, and we're going to cut back through the woods this time, and then out onto the moor. Out in the sunshine, it's really, really warm actually. The thermometer in my car, I think, said about 6.5, 7 degrees when we pulled up. Once you get in under the canopy though, the temperature drops noticeably. However, the bird life quadruples and trebles. It's just worth that chill. there's actually quite a lot of water in this. Not surprising given the snow runoff or the snow melt we've got, and we've had quite a lot of rain. This little island here actually floods when the river's in spate, although the meander there is usually a lot more full. So let's go have a look and see what's happened to the meander. Yeah, in heavy rain, guys, this here rages through, absolutely rages, and this whole island can flood, much to the consternation of people that camp on it. Fire scar, nice. There you go. Excuse the wind, guys, but that used to be a meander, and it used to be a place where you could get across. And the meander went round there where you see the brook coming down, or the cliff coming down. Now there's no way across, it's obviously washed out. What you see there, folks, is what's known locally as Brookhouse Bridge. Brookhouse Bridge, if I remember rightly, relates to Brookhouse Farm, which is one of the 3 farms where they were taken over when they built the reservoir. There's this Brookhouse Farm, North America Farm, and I can't remember the other one. I'm not a local historian by any stretch of the imagination. There is a really good site you can visit though on the internet. If you just search Lancet at war, that'll bring up all sorts of information, both pre-war and during wartime, specifically World War II, about Lancet and the area around it. The 3 guys that did all the research, are members of the local mountain rescue team. There's also safety advice as well, because up on the moors, which I'll show you later, that was the impact area for an armoured fighting vehicle range, and quite often, at least 3 or 4 times a year, they turn up unexploded ordnance, some of which is just sort of like armour-piercing kinetic shells, but quite often they're high explosive shells which will do you a mischief. It is a beautiful day. Far too nice a day to be sat at home. I'm quite lucky though, I'm self-employed, so not working today. It's the Easter holidays, spending some time with my son and getting out in this. This is awesome. Might not be the biggest adventure in the world, but it's our adventure. Now then, this is new to me, although those of you that follow the channel know that I curtailed my outdoor activities. So this is a fish pass. This is to allow fish up and downstream, which absolutely awesome. Can't be faulted. Cannot be faulted. Leaving the woods now. I'm going to head out onto the open moor for a bit. Must admit I'm much happier with my fitness. The hill I've just come up. This time last year I did a shorter walk and actually had to stop 3 times just on the way up. You can either choose to take what's called the Mickleden track, which goes up Mickleden Edge, which eventually goes up to Cutgate End and out to Outer Edge, or you can do what we're doing. We're going to turn left and we're going down to North America Farm, because we're going to go have a look at the targets on the tank range. Here we are, the ruins of North America Farm. If we can, we'll have a look on the eastern side of the ruins, because it said that you can actually see round strike marks where it was used for target practice from the AFV range just over the ridge there. So anyway, we'll see what we can see. The other thing is, I know I said I was going to show you the bullet strikes, the round strikes on North America Farm. Unfortunately, when I got there, there was a group sat around there doing an exercise who basically told me to go away, and they were very, very, very rude indeed. What can you do? What can you do when people think that they have a monopoly on the outdoors and it belongs to them? Oh well, c'est la vie. So here's that strange little cooker thing I was telling you about. I got given it about 10 years ago. Comes in two parts, top and a bottom, and you put the top on the bottom. Usually comes with like I think it built a chafing grill fuel thing that goes in, and it's called a backpacker. Comes in that case, and it's made in the USA. So I'll bring you back when I've got it put together, because it takes two hands. So we've got it up and running. Let's see how it goes. It's a devil to light, because you have to put the burner inside and then put the top on. So yeah. And today's tea of choice is lemon and ginger. So we'll see how we get on with that. Lovely spot. During the Second World War, this whole area was turned over to the training of troops, storage of ammunition, storage of material. In fact, the Strines Road, which essentially runs from the Wagon and Horses pub over Langsett Reservoir and down to where it joins the A57 just above Cutthroat Bridge, was out of bounds. You could not go on the Strines Road without special pass and without special permission. And people who were in this area during the war said, you know, they got arms and material that was stored along the sides of the lanes. Rumour has it that some of the chemical warfare capability was stored around there. Like I said, this entire area here, it was an AFV range, an armoured fighting vehicle range, a tank gunnery range. So you will find unexploded ordnance up here. And a word to the wise, don't touch it. It's all been subject to firing stresses. Quite often fuse pockets are intact, or tracer pockets are intact. And several have had to be disposed of by the Joint EOD force with some really resounding bangs. So we are now walking on the concrete that was laid back in the 40s when this was a tank gunnery range. So we're walking where wartime Shermans, Churchills and Comets and other marked Bren carriers and things like that, other armoured vehicles would have come to do target practice. There are 3 firing points. One there, one just over that rise there, and then one back behind us just on that light patch of grass there. North America Farm is just over there in the distance, and that's why it managed to get lots and lots. In fact, it's just there-ish, and that's why it managed to take lots of 50 cal and 30 cal rounds. So here we are. The revetment, the brick and concrete wall that protected the winch housing that stood on here. Like I say, I'm no local historian by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just going off what I've learnt. The target track actually ran down here. Obviously it's 70 odd years old, so it's being filled in. But you can see the remains of the sleepers, and the rails ran on, or the trolley ran on. And you can see how it goes down here. It keeps going. And I don't know if you can see further on where that sheep is to the right. You can see how there's the remnants of more concrete protection. And I think it's this one in which they're actually, yes, there they are, there it is. So, there's the remains of the trolley, sorry, the track, and that there is remains of the trolley. So this is where the target was moved up and down for the armoured vehicles at the range to shoot at. goes all the way down there, and it's all back to nature now. Frog spawn there. In fact, how much frog spawn do you want? Wow. Right, this is Thickwoods Lane, and Thickwoods Lane used to be covered in rubble from the bombing in Sheffield, and you could see the bricks down and things like that. But it's been concreted over to allow forestry operations and things like that. And as you can see, there's huge great piles of road planings here. The pine trees you see here at Christmas are normally decorated, so people come along and put baubles and tinsel on them, and it takes on quite a Santa's grotto appearance. Locally, it's known as the clearing where nothing grows. Couple of reasons for that. Some people say it's because that they stored chemical weapons here and one leaked. Another story is that there was a munitions fire or something like that. And then the other one is that this was actually part of a tented encampment that went with the Rangers. Yeah, the clearing where nothing grows. And I don't know if you can see, but there's the remnants of a bauble. And some more bauble detritus. And then there's some I don't even know what they're called, and stringy stuff that you get on Christmas trees. There's some baubles behind there, look. Every year somebody comes out and decorates it. Look, there they are. So basically, guys, we've come off Thickwoods Lane, and we're following the reservoir side path back into the woods. It is mega boggy though, very boggy indeed, but there's a reason for that. Langsett Barn and the whole Langsett area is super popular. If you don't get here early, you'll not get a parking space, and particularly on a bank holiday weekend. Somehow I think the frog or the toad that did this got it a bit wrong, given the fact that this is on top of a wall. About this spawn, the other thing that's just come to me is that maybe it's not been laid here, but this is from a frog or a toad that's being attacked and eaten, and this is what's left over. I can't see any bones or anything like that. If anybody knows, maybe you'd like to shout up below and let us know in the comments. This would be a lovely little camp spot if it weren't so busy. Here you go, here's one of those concrete blocks I was talking about. And they were for the catenary defences, or catenary defences. Quite a lot of people thought these were for barrage balloons, but they're not. So the catenary defences were basically big masts, one at either side of the dam, with a steel wire rope cable passed from one to the other, and then hanging off that there were chains and things like that, and the idea was to stop enemy aircraft being able to low fly and bomb the dams. So another part of Langsett's wartime heritage. Guys, I don't know if you better pick this up on camera. Okay guys, I don't know if you better pick this up on camera, but according to one of the people I'm walking with, my eagle-eyed son, excuse the pun, that is the buzzard's nest that he actually saw the buzzard take off from. And I don't know if you can hear it. There you go. Somewhere over there. Really? People, you should be ashamed of yourselves. If you can't take it home, don't bring it with you. this is it. Our little circuit is nearly complete. We're about 3 kilometres away from where I parked the car. And we're just coming into Langsett Barn car park. Usually it's absolutely stupidly busy, and today doesn't look any different. Langsett Barn, by the way, it's a very interesting old building. I think it dates from the 1600s. It's got some toilets if you need toilets. It's usually an ice cream van. There's a cafe across the way. It's a lovely place just to sit and have a picnic. But as you can see, this place is heaving. So, as you can hear by the road noise, we're not very far from the car park. Probably 400 or 500 metres at most. So it's 3:15. We're parked up at 10:15. So we're about 5 hours out. We've not always been walking. We stopped for lunch, we stopped at things to see, and of course I've done a bit of filming, although that was never the intention. Seen lots of interesting things, and yeah, so until next time, folks, whatever they are, enjoy your adventures. Remember to like, subscribe and click that bell icon below. Until next time, Ferret out.